Hey beer tubers, it's Ryan back with another episode of San Diego Beer Vlog. This is my first beer post San Diego Beer Week, and I'm going to take a look at AleSmith and their X, which is their extra pale ale. AleSmith, they tend to do more English style of beers. They have an ESB, they have a Scotch ale, barley wine, they do an IPA, although it's West Coast style IPA. And so it's kind of like West Coast style meets the UK. So let's get this one open. This one is a bottle conditioned beer. So it's a real ale, so figure a real ale. Let's get a British style glass here, so we're going into the fullers. This is actually the only regular beer that they brew that I've yet to try. So this is going to be the first time trying this one on camera today. They're another fantastic brewery locally, one of my favorites. So let's take a look at the extra pale ale. I mean, you might mistake this for a macro lager in some respects. There's a decent amount of carbonation coming off the bottom. Get about a little finger and a half, just white head, mostly small bubbles. Color-wise, it's pretty much very straw-like golden color, so very pale. Let's get the nose on it. So with this difference, I think, is mostly on the aroma. You get much more of a hop character than you would traditionally with like an English style pale ale. This is more in line with like a Sierra Nevada pale ale. So you get a good amount of sweetness coming there from the malt, and then the hops kind of have a very sweet character to them. You get some fruitiness. Like I'm also getting like some like apricot kind of tropical fruit notes as well. So it's kind of got a floral, fruity kind of aroma to it. Very nice smelling beer. So let's dig in. Cheers. Nice. Very clean beer. Finishes dry. It's fairly, I mean, it's not as light-bodied as I thought it was going to be. I would say this is almost more medium body. Reminds me a tad bit of Sierra Nevada and their pale ale. You get some of the hop character up front. It follows the nose slightly. You get a little more of like a citrusy grapefruit kind of character to the taste on it than you do with the nose, but there is some of that kind of apricot kind of fruitiness coming in as well. So up front you do get a good amount of that carbonation that's coming up. And this beer is leaving some pretty nice lacing so far. Not a complex beer. It's fairly brief on the palate. Kind of hits you up front, midway through. You get some of the kind of breadiness from the malt, and then it just kind of dives away on the finish and just kind of dries out. Not a whole lot of lingering. You do get some bitterness lingering, and it is a little more bitter than I thought it would be. But yeah, it's a very nice beer. Kind of a West Coast meets British pale ale. This one, to me, compared to the last bottle of Sierra Nevada pale ale I had, this one seems a little hoppier than that. But yeah, this is a 5.5% beer, so it's a pretty decent sessionable. So it's a pretty decent sessionable beer, and definitely one of the better pale ales I've had. I put this definitely up there with like Dale's Pale Ale, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. I mean, those are like my two favorites. I'm not huge on pale ales, but this is going down real easy. It's real smooth. So with the amount of carbonation I'm getting, it makes it a little less easy to drink. But if you let that sit a while, I'm sure it's gonna, as I go through this bomber, it's gonna become less and less as it goes. And it's still a very smooth beer. That bottle conditioning really helps. I mean, their IPA is the same way. Real smooth drinking beer. Smooth, crisp beer that goes down real easy. Can easily suck these things down. 5.5%, very sessionable beer. So I'm going to give this one a B+. This is definitely above average beer. On the high end above average, not quite excellent, but Maybe that has more to do with me not a huge fan of the style, but I'm not quite sure what might put a pale ale up into the A range for me. But this one's very close. Another excellent offering from AleSmith. So comment and subscribe to the channel. That's it for today. Until the next beer review or adventure, cheers.